Well, hello. It is another fine day here. It's warming up at the moment, but it's going to hit 17 degrees. Fantastic on October 27th. I've chosen today as the day to plant my garlic. Yay! So here's my saved garlic from this year's harvest. I'm shooting for about 190. I'll see what I get. Each head has various numbers of cloves on it. These are Porcelain Music garlic. I've been growing them for, I never remember, I think it's 5 years. In the same location on my property, which is going to change this year. I'm going to put it in the beds for the first year. I'm a little scared about that. However, it's time for a change and to move them down. But this variety grows extremely well for me, always has. I'm very pleased with my garlic harvest. In fact, I'm very proud of my garlic harvest. Last year I grew about 180 to 188, something like that. And these are all from the saved cloves I originally bought 5 years ago. The great thing about garlic, it just keeps on giving, and such a low maintenance crop. So what I have to do first is separate the cloves. I won't put you through the pain of watching me. I have lots of other videos on garlic, but you simply make sure, this is hardneck. Porcelain is a hardneck. It's often very hard to get the cloves. But they're gorgeous big cloves. They last me from season to season, in fact, past the season, so over a year. So when you take your cloves apart, don't do it until the day you're going to plant. By the way, I'm just telling you what I do. You can do whatever you want. And make sure you're trying to, oh, I've got to get another bucket to throw this in, to keep it intact as best you can. Don't worry if you don't. I've had many that the skins have split and I still stick them in and they still grow. However, they could potentially rot because they're going to be in your garden for a very long time. These porcelain I plant normally a little over a week earlier than I'm doing this year, but we've had such incredible warm weather that I didn't want them in too soon. You don't want to put your garlic, I think they advise, if I'm remembering correctly, to try to shoot for 2 weeks before that first frost that comes. So for many of us, it's October. Out west, it's earlier maybe. And some it could be later. Like this year, I'm figuring I won't have a frost for another 2 weeks, checking the weather regularly. But it's enough time to give these a chance to grow some roots. You don't want too much. You don't want it to start sprouting. You just want a good period where it can establish itself for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and take these apart. I'm probably going to take a count and see what I'm working with. And then I'll take you outside to the beds, which are almost fully prepped. I just have to pull a last few vegetables that I left in there, trying to push every day in this glorious weather. So I'll bring you back then. Okay, I got a little sidetracked there. I had a lovely chat with my both my son and my daughter, and live chat, so I got to see my sweet little grandchild. Then I had lunch. So I'm back at it. I have gotten the cloves separated. Here, I'll flip you around and show you. Here we go. So there's all the cloves. There's 200 various sizes. So it'll be various size when they grow. Now the two beds I'm putting them in, this one had my beans, and I will take out the 2 chards that are in there that survived all summer amidst the beans. I gotta get my hand out because it's blurring it. And the thyme and sage will stay. The garlic can grow around that. This bed, I'll take out, well, I guess this fennel, which isn't going to give me seed, is it? Hang on, I think I'm sidetracked again because Bruce is bringing me manure from my other beds. I can hear him. And I've got to help haul them off. Let's see if that's what he's got. Yes, it is. Alright, I'll be right back. I'll just quickly go through this while he's getting more bags. So, I just hauled these off his trailer and put them in place. He's gone back to get some more. So basically 2 per bed. However, I should stress, these 2 beds, which I'm planting in right now, don't have the manure. I have added the chicken manure pellets and some green feed, and he's on his way again. I'll talk quickly. But these aren't fully composted by any means, so they will sit for 6 to some beds 8 months composting over the winter, and it works perfectly. It's actually beautiful by the end of it. And he's coming again, so I got to run. Okay, hunkered down here, finally getting to this, to the planting of the bulbs. So, I mentioned this is the first time I'm doing it up here in these beds, so that means that I just have to think about it a little differently. When it was the bed that's directly in the ground, there was, throughout the winter here in Newfoundland, it's moderate temperatures, so it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws, and the ground heaves and hoes. And I planted my garlic very deep up there, and it's still, the garlic would almost come out. So I would go down, I swear, 8 inches, and it would still almost pop out. Don't have to worry about that in the beds. So I will do the general 6 inches down now, or 5, some of them if I can't get down, doesn't matter. That's 6 inches for me exactly, my spread fingers. And I'm doing 6 inches in between, both ways, in between rows and in between each clove. They do recommend further between rows. I never do that. Don't want to give up that much room. So I've got 7 here that fit, and that's good. I'm hoping I can get 90 cloves in here and 90 in the next bed. And then that'll only leave me with 10 cloves to stick somewhere. That'll be fine. This soil, as I mentioned, there's no raw manure on this, or partially composted. But I've topped it up. So what I'm talking about when I top it up is just exactly that. It's just to go on the top and it will leach down. The soil underneath here is gorgeous. There are worms running around everywhere here. And yes, it's been slightly depleted. There were beans in here, though they help the soil, and onions in the other bed that you know, shouldn't be too bad. So with the extra toppings I'm putting here, hopefully will be enough. Garlic is not extreme heavy feeders. I will give it a bit more, probably chicken manure pellets in the spring or something like that. But anyway, going to get on before the rain comes. Well, it's the next day now. I got rained out. Boy, did it pour. I carried on and, in fact, got all 200 cloves in these 2 beds. And the final thing I will do with these beds is I need to top them off with some of the whole maple leaves that we gather, because raised beds warm up faster than the ground that I had previously planted these. And you don't want your garlic to warm up that fast. So I do need to put a little bit of insulation here. We just pulled up to the municipal leaf depot. You can see the fresh leaves that have been brought up here in the bags, and if you want to just take those, unpack your own, it's wonderful. But Bruce and I are here today for the already composted leaves, which make this lovely dirt or soil here, and it's going in our gardens. A wonderful free resource. So I believe we've got 10 bags of the dirt, half full, of course, they're heavy. And now we're just getting some of the maple leaves that are not composted down. Here you can see the use of the free resources that we just got. Bruce has put cardboard on the bottom, then a bit of manure, but then leaves and the composted leaves. And this is a brand new bed. He will continue to add the dirt to it. Just to show you again my the saved garlic I showed you, that's for planting. But for eating, I've kept 130, I think it was, cloves in my pantry here. And I've got lots down here. And I'm plowing through them. Boy, am I ever. We eat, or I cook with, I should say, a lot of garlic. Sometimes it's just that it melts in, and you probably know that depending on how you cook garlic, you get the various flavors from it. So it's just such a great enhancer. Can't live without it. But I just wanted to show you what I've got. Some of these are just smaller. That's because I'm trying to keep mostly the bigger cloves for replanting, though not all. I've got a lot of smaller ones too, because I found that in 5 years' time, my cloves were getting just too big, huge, to the point where you would get, I probably have some around, I don't know. Let me see what's in here, if I've got any. No, I've been eating them. But you would get just 2 gigantic cloves, and I like to have a variety of sizes depending. It helps me with my cooking. Well, I'll let you go here. Take care and have a wonderful week.